We deal with a lot of Christians on this show. We generally go after them pretty hard and fast. This time, we're going to take on a whole new set of topics. Orthodox Jews.
Oh, the ones with the curlers?
Yeah, the ones with the little beanies on top of their head. And, they think the skull cap. They think that I don't know what they're waiting. I really don't know what they're waiting for. If they're waiting for a rock to hit them in the head or something. The thing with Orthodox Jews is that they have their own little culture. It's like a subculture, and anything that happens within that subculture, they do not want anyone else to know. It's very secretive. It's like the Catholics; they're very secretive. Every once in a while, a scandal erupts that they just can't hide. After a woman came forward to authorities with an abuse story, the ultra-Orthodox men that were involved were arrested. And it was discovered that they had tried to make the charges go away by offering her $500,000 for her to leave the country. I mean, to leave the country? Wow, that $500,000. Would I leave the country? I'd come back.
A very generous offer.
It is a very generous offer, yes. But the couple refused, and the four thugs damaged the gentleman's restaurant, tearing up his kosher seal. I didn't know seals could be kosher. Maybe they bark with salt on them.
Kosher seals for the restaurants are probably very expensive to obtain.
No, they very well could be. Yes.
Yeah.
It says here. It says Orthodox Jews are supposed to adhere strictly to the laws and ethics of the Torah, the Bible, and clearly the Torah abhors behavior like this. So people act like they are neither religious nor Orthodox. It infuriates me to hear them referred to the media as religious, or Weberman referred to as a rabbi. Rabbi is a title of respect, even reverence, and surely someone who allegedly fondled a young girl and forced a 12-year-old to perform indecent acts is not worthy of this label. That's basically the no true Scotsman's fallacy right there. If the guy calls himself a rabbi, he's a rabbi, basically, if he says he is,
Well, then I'm a rabbi.
Yeah, you can call yourself a rabbi if you want to. If you go through all the religious dogma and everything.
You have to jump through the hoops. And
then
you become
I jumped through those hoops a long time
You have to get circumcised, Medusa.
Yeah, and I don't think women can be rabbis as it is. The thing is, and they still perform this to this day, which is really sick. When they go out to perform a circumcision on the babies, and what they do is once they've cut off the circumcision, the man puts his mouth on the little baby's penis and sucks away the blood. Yeah, it's a little gross and disgusting. This is 2012. They're still practicing this. If the guy has say he has a sexually transmitted disease or some other diseases, he gives it to that baby because there's open wounds and bloods.
It's happened.
Yes, and it has happened before.
It's happened. Oh my God.
It has happened before, and
Oh my gosh.
Why are they still doing this in this day and age? It's fucking ridiculous. Joe, your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm glad that you brought up the circumcision thing. The first time I heard about that was when I read God Is Not Great by Christopher Hitchens. He mentions it in his book, and he brings it up like, okay, now imagine I'm a 40-something-year-old man, and I'm sucking on the bloody penis of a baby, and blah, 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 blah. And I'm just, like, revolted by this. Like, whoa, what is he talking about? And so I went online and I Googled it, and sure enough, he wasn't making it up. Like, in some Orthodox Jewish communities, they still practice this custom. There's a word for it, I don't know. But it came to light in New York City and Brooklyn because one rabbi was going around doing this to all these babies, and he was giving them herpes.
Yep.
Now, the article that this story that we're covering tonight is based on mentions at the end that New York City finally issued an ordinance where the parents have to sign a permission slip for the rabbi to do this to their infant.
Right.
But the blog article says, well, that's just paper. That's just they should outright ban it. I'm glad that they're finally starting to acknowledge it, because when Christopher Hitchens mentioned it in his book, he was outraged that it was just getting brushed under the rug. Like, well, we can't offend the Jewish community because they're so, we can't just, it's their belief and they can do that. No, they're giving babies herpes. That's crazy.
It is crazy. It
anyway,
really is.
Back to this story. You had mentioned earlier, give him enough rope.
Yeah.
This guy, Rabbi Weberman, the guy who is accused of sexual improprieties, he is very popular down there in Brooklyn, and he has the support of his community. They have People have rallied to raise money for his defense. As you mentioned, they offered $500,000 to his accuser to leave the country. And back in June, a group of 4 men ransacked the accuser's boyfriend's restaurant in an attempt to intimidate them and shut them up.
Mm-hmm.
Those 4 men have been arrested and are also facing trial. Now, the trial of Rabbi Lieberman is ongoing right now. And just yesterday, he took the stand in his own defense, and he denied sexually abusing his accuser when she was a teenager. However, while he was being questioned by prosecutors, he started admitting to all sorts of other stuff, like embezzling from his charitable non-for-profit for personal gain and to pay for his kids' tuition. It was also revealed that a credit card issued by the non-for-profit was used to buy outfits from a lingerie shop.
Oh, jeez.
I'm horrified.
So, I mean, why he took the stand and spill his guts like this, I mean, that's the kind of stuff is beyond me.
Yeah, you know, the thing is with a lot of these people is that when they get up there on the stand, they think they're going to, you know, just start. They get on there and they say, well, I'm only going to talk about this, but then sometimes they have the foot and mouth disease and they just keep talking.
Exactly.
What are your thoughts?
Well, once you put yourself up on the stand, you open yourself up to the prosecution to ask you anything they want to ask you about.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you don't take the stand in your own defense.
Right.
But I'm horrified. I didn't know that they actually did it in this day and age.
Mm-hmm.
We have these wonderful places. They're called hospitals. You know, you give birth them. They take your kid away. They bring them back. They have no foreskin.
You know, and personally, I think that's I think the practice of circumcising children, male or female, is something that needs to stop because it's dangerous. Children have died because of doing this, and
it's a very rapid operation.
It doesn't matter how rapid it is. It doesn't matter. It does not matter how rapid it is. It's a piece of their body. There's nothing wrong. That is nothing wrong with it. And
my problem with rapidness is the trouble with mistakes being made so fast.
Oh, I understand. Yes.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Okay. I thought you were. Never mind. I thought you.
Oh no.
I've had these discussions online. They just piss me off to no end because they just like, oh well, they say it's more healthy. You can't get an STD. All this other bullshit.
Well,
and then I actually had a conversation with somebody over on Facebook on this very topic, and they said, and I said, well, what if they said somebody came out tomorrow and said that a woman's clitoris had to be removed or their labias had to be removed, and that would stop STDs. And they would never do that. There's no scientific evidence to this. Like, well, there's no scientific evidence for the foreskin for a man's penis being removed that's going to stop STDs. And there's a lot of doctors that are in complete conflict, both on the right and the left side of this of this controversy. And then, sure as shit. A couple weeks later, there was somebody actually posted a story like that. Someone said, "Well, if a woman has her clitoris removed or the labia is removed, then she can't. Then the chance of reducing sexual transmitted disease will go down." I didn't write it, obviously, but I was shocked actually that somebody actually said, "Hey, that sounds like a good idea. Why don't I do that?" So it's like that was their take on it. So. I always say if you're going to do one, do the other, but either you do one, or either you don't do one, or don't do either. Either way, and personally, the practice for taking off a woman's clitoris and a man's foreskin needs to stop. It's a barbaric practice. It's based in religious rituals, nothing more. It's primitive thinking. It's exactly it. It's primitive thinking.
Yeah.
All right. And whether you're for or against circumcision of boys, the act of having a middle-aged man put his mouth on your infant's penis and suck on it.
Yes.
That is just so completely disturbing.
Yes, it is.
The fact that they even still do that is just, it's horrifying.
And I don't understand. That's what a part of it I don't understand. Why the hell are they doing that?
I don't understand why the women aren't up in arms about this.
Yeah, I don't know. I just if I saw
religious tradition.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's a religious tradition.
They say their magic words. They shake their shakers and do their thing, and then they do that. Ugh.
And then they put their mouth on there. It's like, that just if a grown adult male puts his mouth on another grown adult's penis, I have no problem with that. If a grown woman does that, I have no problem with that either. But
or vice versa.
Or vice versa, yeah.
Packard takes from everybody.
That's right. I have no problem with that. I don't have a problem with that. But putting your mouth on an infant, there should be just a law against just doing that altogether. That's in my book. That's tantamount to pedophilia. It's just one step away from pedophilia.
No wonder why they separate the men from the women.
Yeah,
they don't want them to see.
Yeah, very well. That's very possible. I don't know. It's just
I don't even know.
It's a barbaric custom. It needs to stop.
Bottom line.
Yeah, bottom line, it needs to stop.